got a better idea. All right, this will work. Welcome to Baird Maple Syrup Farm in Vermont. Whew. All right, I need a few more layers. All right, that's better. Let's go explore.
It was time to say goodbye to our beach condo that we'd called home the last several weeks. We packed up all our stuff and said goodbye to New Smyrna Beach, our favorite beach town, and set off for a northern kind of adventure. We grabbed ourselves a rental car with four-wheel drive because we figured we were going to run into some different kinds of weather. Had one last peek at that beautiful beach view, and we were ready to head off north.
It's road trip time.
Oh yeah. That was corny.
I'm keeping it. Let's go!
We set off on I-95, said goodbye to Florida. Hello to Georgia. And finally, we made it to our first stop for the night, South Carolina. We spent the week hanging out with some incredible friends in a stunning beachfront mansion. I mean, just freaking look at that house. It was amazing. And then the unexpected happened. Future Megan here, editing this video and realizing we can't just leave this part of the story out. So the closer and closer we got to Vermont, the worse and worse I felt. I'm very used to chest pains because I've had 2 surgeries on my lung. My left lung has a history of spontaneously collapsing. No one knows why, but it's a thing that happens to me. And so I've dealt with a lot of chest pain for many years. So it's really something that I'm used to. As it got worse and worse, we did decide to go to the doctor and found out that I had pneumonia. So our adventure took quite a turn and shortened up quite a bit. We lost a few days as I went on bed rest and had several doses of antibiotic to make sure I was no longer contagious in any way, and just resting up because it's really painful whenever I get anything respiratory. My scar tissue really flares up. It's hard for me to talk for long periods of time. It's hard for me to walk for a long period of time. So our adventure took quite the turn, and we realized we didn't film it. And as we were talking about that in the car, we got to talking about social media and how, you know, often people call it a highlight reel, and like you only see the best of people's lives. And some people take that to say that's unfair, that people don't show the dark sides of life as well on social media. But I think the thing I realized while this was happening and what Andrew and I were having a conversation about was when you're in those moments of worry or fear or pain, the last thing you want to do is pick up a camera. That is the absolute last thing you want to do in those moments. And so, I don't know if I really have a point to this other than letting you in on the peak of what happened in this part of the story and how our trip got cut short as we went through some recovery time before going back out into the world again to find our beloved maple syrup. I guess if I want to say anything, it's that as you watch travel videos and glamorous lifestyles online, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, to just remember that, you know, real life happens as well. And just because you live an incredible life by design and you know, get to go on extraordinary adventures, it doesn't mean that life stops happening. So, okay, that's all. Back to the video.
All right, so we have woken up in Vermont and to a winter wonderland. It's the first time that I've seen snow actually falling in like over a decade. So I'm ecstatic about it. This is awesome. We decided to actually come to Vermont because I'd never been. It's my 39th state. It was the only state that I hadn't been to east of the Mississippi. So now I've seen the entire East Coast. So super stoked about this. And yeah, as you can tell, it is a blizzard right now. Probably not quite blizzard level, but it's definitely the most snow I've seen in years. So now we are off to get some breakfast and do the one thing that you have to do when you're in Vermont.
Also, the snow is much prettier from the warmth of our car.
Yeah, Megan was right. It's a lot warmer in the car. All right, let's go in.
It's thawing me out. I just want to hold this cup forever. A little preview of what's to come. Best part of this car! Andrew's like a little kid in the snow.
Ma'am, I've never seen it. It's like...
You have seen it! You grew up in the north!
Okay, I've seen it in my lifetime, yes. But I haven't seen it in like 20 years.
You want to build a snowman?
I do want to build a snowman, yes. I don't have any gloves. I'm not prepared for this. Nobody told me that it was snowing in April.
Yeah, we are really not prepared. Like, these are the only jackets we have. It's 27 degrees Fahrenheit, and look at my shoes. Those are some Florida sneakers if I've ever seen them. After making our way through some back roads of Vermont in a winter wonderland, we found our way to Baird Maple Syrup Farm, where Jenna showed us all around her family farm.
This is my family for 103 years. So back in 1918, my great-grandmother was making it on like a small little evaporator out in the backwoods. She taught my dad how to make syrup. He was doing it on the stove top in the house. Now, today, we tapped 14,000 trees on the farm, so
wow.
A little different scale. If you look on the mountain here, that whole ridge line is about 5,000 taps. On the other side of it, there's another 2,000 taps. And out back this way, there's 7,000. We have over 100 miles of tubing through the woods that's all interconnected.
Wow.
You'll see the taps. It goes from the tap and it eventually makes its way all the way to the sugar house. So it's just a lot more efficient than having to go around to every single tree and collect the sap. So the sugar... This is what the trees look like with the tubing. So in January, we go out to every single tree,
Wow.
to all 14,000. There's
Oh my
only 3
gosh.
of us that do all the work on the farm.
Wow.
So it's Jacob, myself, and my dad, who's 70. Drill a hole in the tree, so you can see here, that's one of the holes from probably a couple of years ago. It's starting to fill in.
I wonder if it like hurt the trees or if they like recovered, but it sounds like
they're pretty resilient.
Yeah.
They heal over really quickly. Yeah, I mean, you can see like the top holes on here are not that old and they're already filling in.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, trees are kind of like people. Younger trees heal faster than older trees. The sap is kind of like the blood in the tree, or in a person, right? And then the top holes are kind of like little scars. Our vacuum pumps. So there's 2 here. There's another one behind that wall. So this is what's actually creating that suction on all the tubing. When there's a big problem in the woods, so say squirrel is feeling hungry and chews that tubing line apart, that pump will start working harder and it's going to be moving faster, and we know, okay, there's a big problem out there, we got to go find it, right? So with 14,000 taps and 100 miles of tubing, like, where do you start to look for it, right?
Yeah.
Because it can be just like this big of a leak and it can cause a problem.
Jenna went on to tell us how instead of checking all 14,000 trees for a leak, they now have a convenient app. So yes, there is an app for everything. Now let's go back to the sugar house.
Tubing lines that are buried from this building underground to those pump houses, they come out from underground over there. You can kind of see the black lines. They loop up underneath the ceiling. They hit kind of a manifold over here where we direct sap into whichever tank we want. We're usually filling these big ones. Big tanks. The sap will start filling these. You guys want to guess how long it takes a tank to fill up? On like,
it's like 3 months.
3 months.
I mean, I was gonna go so much less. I was gonna say like 2 weeks, but now that feels.
You're closer.
Oh yes.
But I'm gonna blow your mind. So one tank, this holds 7,000 gallons. One tank will fill up on with those good temperatures in 3 to 4 hours. So these all get heat packed, they get sealed, so the syrup in here is gonna keep until it gets cracked open. And then we'll basically do all the bottling throughout the entire year. So
And then the bottling comes out of these?
yep. We pump it up into this tank, which is just gonna hold the syrup and keep it hot. And then normally there's like all these tubes and everything attached and like little spigots, and we literally fill 2 at a time. It's great.
Oh.
Wow. And I just want to close that door.
We're gonna finally get to taste some syrup.
Lighter syrup, the more subtle the maple flavor, and then as it gets darker, it gets stronger. So the grades really have to do like with how the season is progressing. The amber is kind of like your classic pancake syrup. The dark robust has a little bit more flavor. That's probably our favorite. It's more versatile, good for cooking, but great on pancakes. It's kind of could go either way. And then the very dark strong has more of like a molassesy flavor. It's more of like a cooking or baking syrup. We make a wild mint infused maple syrup and a wild spruce tip infused maple syrup. They're great for cocktails. Think like mint julep or mint mojito.
Yeah.
Great as sweeteners into your coffee.
Little shots of syrup.
Get you through the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna try the mint one too.
Yeah.
More.
All right, Slanja. Cheers. That was a very sweet. The clear.
lightest.
Yeah,
nice.
the lighter one.
Golden delicate.
Mm-hmm.
Mint amber.
I'm gonna be on a sugar high.
There you are.
Yeah, the golden often tastes a little bit sweeter because it kind of lacks the maple flavor. Technically, they're all the same sugar content.
I like this one.
Yeah.
This is the amber.
That's the most,
Amber rich.
definitely the more popular.
That was really good too.
This is so
That's the
funny.
dark robust.
Yeah, that's the dark robust.
I mean, we've done like bourbon tours where you do like
Yeah.
I know. Am I doing this right? Should I be like tapping and?
It's so
cheers?
funny, like everybody kind of does it differently. You know, like
shot or
take the whole
Yeah,
shot.
That was a strong one. So
The
that's the
very
very
dark.
dark strong.
Yeah.
So this is the mint. It's refreshing, actually. It's, I feel like
is it like a mint julep?
yeah, it kind of is. One is the
That's the spruce tip.
spruce. The spruce. All right. So I mean, rookie question, but is this the spruce only from spruce trees then?
Yeah, so we harvest like the new shoots of the spruce trees.
It's good.
Yeah.
I like that. It's very
It's like an earthy flavor.
yeah. It's a very different flavor from maple, like your regular maple syrup, but it's good.
What was your favorite?
Ooh, for pancakes, I really think the amber.
What is maple sriracha?
So those over here, these are maple hot sauce. If you like a smoky flavor, this one is really, really good. They all have a little bit of maple. He has it every morning, and usually on his blueberries or like granola or yogurt, whatever. Yeah, we put it in our smoothies in the morning, and Jacob puts it in his coffee. It's a luxurious coffee.
Thinking I'm gonna put some on my pizzas, put some on my pancakes, put some in my hair.
I happen to know everything there is to know about maple syrup. I love maple syrup. I love maple syrup on pancakes. I love it on pizza. I like to take maple syrup and put a little bit in my hair when I've had a rough week. What do you think holds it up, Slick?
See, it's you use a little maple syrup or put a little bit of maple syrup in everything. So the question was, what's the difference between this organic maple syrup to the normal maple syrup that you'll find in like any grocery store?
Yeah, so all maple syrup comes from wild maple trees. A lot of people ask, isn't maple syrup organic anyways? But a lot of it has to do with like forest management, how, like I talked about, tapping close to old tap holes. Like they will actually, we get inspected every year, they will measure distances between old tap holes and new tap holes, making sure you're just like taking care of your forest and your trees. And then a lot has to do with like in the sugar house, like we're required to we're not allowed to tap trees that are under 9 inches in diameter. So tree size, making sure you're not over tapping trees. If you look behind you there, that tree probably wouldn't pass our inspection. If you go on our website, there's a tab that says organic, why organic, or about organic, or whatever. And there's a YouTube video on there about organic syrup. Perfect. Yeah.
Speaking of YouTube, you can follow Jenna and Jacob at Baird Farms on YouTube. This is Jacob. This is Jenna's partner and I guess what, co-owner, right?
I guess so.
Co-owner, yeah.
Mostly just like lapdog of the farm.
Something maple syrupy.
Yep.
Something maple syrupy. We could juggle glass bottles.
Oh, all right, yeah. Right.
That was probably one of the nicest tours I've been on.
Yeah, it was incredible and informative, and I didn't realize how much I did not know about maple syrup and where it came from.
And I feel like I learned so much, and I had so much fun, and they are like the kindest humans ever. Jenna and Jacob, thank you so much. That was seriously, I feel like I just came into a little family farm, which it is, a little family farm that's been in since, I don't remember the date, but we shared it earlier in this video. And I just felt like I just got a little piece of someone's home.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so nice. And she even let me borrow boots.
Oh my gosh.
She literally gave me the boots off of her feet. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
If you're in Vermont, come to Baird Farm.
Some of the kindest people like I've ever met in like throughout our travels have been in Vermont.
Yeah.
Very, very impressed with you all.
Good job, Vermont.
Good job, Vermont. You get my seal of approval, if that's worth anything.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You had too much maple syrup. Alright, so let's try this again.
Aw. Breakfast in the morning. Thanks. Wait. Where's the maple syrup? Ah. Much better. Thanks, babe. This is nice. This is nice weather. I can't even find my sleeve. Alright. Yep. No idea what's happening right now. Oh my gosh, this is... It's nice to look at.